Welcome to Spring LIB.
In this problem, we are given these two reduction half reactions along with the values of their standard reduction potentials. In part A, we want to determine if we dissolve solid cobalt as a metal in 1 molar of nitric acid, whether CO2 plus or 3 plus will be the main product. So if we know that we are starting with cobalt as a solid, as a reactant, and we have for a product either CO2 plus or CO3 plus, that means that we increased the oxidation state of cobalt by losing electrons. So that corresponds to an oxidation half reaction. And so that would be the reverse of either one of these reduction reactions. And we are given the standard reduction potentials for both of these reduction half reactions. And we know that a larger value for the standard reduction potential means that that half reaction will have a greater potential to be reduced than a half reaction with a smaller standard reduction potential. And so the opposite is also true. That is, the half reaction that has a lower standard reduction potential will have a lower potential to be reduced, but a greater potential to be oxidized. In part A, we are concerned with the oxidation of solid cobalt. And so when we compare these two, we see that the first half reaction has a greater potential to be reduced, meaning that the second half reaction has a greater potential to be oxidized. So when we run the oxidation reaction of cobalt solid going to a charged state of cobalt, we know that based on the fact that the second half reaction provided in the problem will be the one that will be favorably oxidized, then that means that CO2 plus will be the primary ion in solution for the product of that oxidation. And in part B, we want to know if we can change that and influence it in some way by increasing the concentration of nitric acid that we are dissolving the solid cobalt in. Meaning, if we were to increase the concentration of nitric acid, would we somehow be able to favor the production of CO3 plus instead of CO2 plus? And the answer to part B would be no, because it is not dependent on the amount of on the concentration of the solution that we are dissolving that solid cobalt in. All that matters is the standard reduction potentials. And because the top half reaction compared to the bottom half reaction has a greater potential to be reduced due to its greater standard reduction potential, then that means that oxidation of cobalt to CO2 plus will always be the main product, no matter what the concentration of nitric acid is that we dissolve that solid cobalt in. So that is why that is the answer to part B.